Good afternoon. This is the Level Up virtual library instruction session on patent searching. And I'm Roman Koshykar. I'm the Computing and Information Sciences librarian at the RIT Libraries. And I'm happy to be speaking to you today about the basics of patent searching in this one of our spring semester 2021 virtual Level Up sessions, where the other librarians and I briefly discuss a topic that is of interest to our students. And I certainly hope that if you're watching this video that learning about patent searching is of interest to you. And I am aiming this session at the new patent searcher, at someone who has not engaged in this activity before now. So what are patents? They are legal documents that offer protection for certain categories of intellectual property. So everybody knows kind of conceptually what that means as far as a patent goes. But patents are also rich sources of information about engineering and design of many different forms of technology. So you may be wondering, why use patents for research? Well, as a student, it's mainly for this second reason. There's a great deal of detail in patents about how things work and how they are made and how they are designed. I'm going to share my screen now, and I have some general information concerning patents. What I've pulled up here is some general information concerning patents from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. What are patents, trademarks, service marks, and copyrights? So there are a lot of details to go through here, but there are three main types of patents: utility patents, design patents, and plant patents. And yes, you can patent plant breeds or varieties of plants. Design patents offer protection for a particular design of an ordinary object. So you can't patent chairs. It's too broad of a category, but you can patent your specific chair design. Utility patents are the biggest category and the broadest class here, and they cover just about the entire built world. New inventions are granted utility patents, and this is what most people envision when they think of the term patent. Components of larger products and so on can also be granted utility patents. As the USPTO says here, anyone who invents or discovers any new and useful process, machine, article of manufacture, or composition of matter, or any new and useful improvement thereof. So right away, you're kind of getting into this dense legalistic language around patents. A little bit of patent trivia for you. New U.S. patents are issued once a week, always on Tuesday, and today is actually a Wednesday. So the last patents were issued yesterday by the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Patents have been issued by the U.S. government since 1790. Since basically the beginning of the United States as a nation. And the power to issue patents was written into the Constitution. And quoting that article of the Constitution, to promote the progress of science and the useful arts. Many other countries issue patents. It is not necessary to be a U.S. resident to obtain a U.S. patent. Conversely, U.S. residents and U.S.-based companies can and do obtain patents in other countries as well. On the RIT Libraries info guide system, we maintain an info guide to researching patents, and I recommend that everybody use this info guide, and this will also be linked to from our guide on the Level Up virtual series as well. But if you just search info guides for patents, You will find this or go directly to infoguides.rit.edu/patents to access this page. So on the start page, we have a quick strategy for what we in our library recommend as the best entry point for patent research. And I will spend more time on this later. There's also an entry point to the patent classification system under the box labeled Browsing Patent Topics. And then a link to our list of patent databases, which is actually a separate page on this guide. And this is a very important location here. Since patents are public information, they are free to use, meaning that you shouldn't have to pay for digital versions of patents. And the most up-to-date source comes from the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The USPTO maintains a US patent full-text database. That is the source that is updated once a week on Tuesdays. There are several other sources, including Google. Yes, you can Google patents. But if you follow our strategy that we recommend at the RIT Libraries, Google is more of a secondary source for obtaining the text of the patent document rather than conducting the basic research. On the books page and the tutorials and information pages, I will allow you to access those if you're interested. If you're interested in taking a deeper dive into the world of patents, there's some useful information found there. And then finally, on Consult a Librarian, you can contact myself as the Computing and Information Sciences Librarian, or you can contact Lynette Corin as our Engineering Librarian for patent research advice and guidance. Now, please note at this point, we cannot help you apply for a patent as we are not attorneys, we're librarians, and we're unable to provide legal advice. So what we are interested in is helping students conduct research into patents. So let's go to our patent databases page and do a sample search in the US Patent Full Text Database. The quick search allows you to search terms in certain fields of a patent, and I think it's really valuable to do this. The default is to search for your term here in all fields. That's kind of a search engine-like interface, but I actually would recommend not to do this, okay? I believe that it is not recommended. It's too imprecise. I believe that it's too imprecise for me to recommend as a librarian. So instead, what you might want to do is try searching for your terms in the title or the abstract of the patent documents. And if you have patent classification information, either the current US classification or what's known as the CPC cooperative, the CPC classification. That's a cooperative American and European system, which is used to classify patents. You may use that to increase the precision of your search. Sometimes in more advanced settings, you may already have that information, or you may have started with a patent that's classified according to different or a certain set of US or CPC classification codes. You can use those codes to identify more patents of the same class, meaning that they're patents on the same type of technology. Other fields of interest in here, the inventor and the assignee. The inventor is the individual credited with developing the IP. The assignees, however, are the actual holder of the patent. And the assignee can be the same as the inventor. Most often, however, the assignee is a business, a corporation, or other organization. So let's do a sample search here. I'd like to know if RIT holds any patents related to sensors. So how can I perform the search? I can set the assignee name to Rochester Institute of Technology. and I'll type that in. And then this is just a Boolean and, right? So and or and not. So using some Boolean logic here, we're just connecting these two terms so that they're intersected. So that we're finding these terms in the same document. Pretty straightforward, I think. But I want to change this from all fields to the abstract field. And does the abstract field contain the word sensors? Okay. And we will do a search there. Now notice the data is current through March 16th. That was yesterday. Today is March 17th, Wednesday versus a Tuesday. So this is the most current set of patent information available in the United States. So here we are. There are, in fact, 2 patents that have the word sensors in the abstract. So they're kind of about sensors or use sensors, and they are owned by Rochester Institute of Technology. So RIT is the assignee. All right, let's take a look at a sample patent here. You'll notice that the patent number is found here, and they're presented in patent number order. The larger the patent number, the more recently it was issued. So this one is newer than this one. And allow the database to retrieve the document here. The title is Method and System for Monitoring Terrain and Gait and Predicting Upcoming Terrain. One utilizes one or more sensors. So that's why sensors is in the abstract here. And here are the inventors. They are the individuals named. But the assignee, the owner of the patent, is Rochester Institute of Technology. So the date of issue is found under the patent number. I'll draw your attention up here. This is patent number 10.524.699. It was issued January 7th, 2020. Okay. The file date is found a little bit lower here. So filed December 20th, 2013. So note that it took more than 6 years for this patent to actually be granted. And that's not unusual. Oftentimes it does take a very long time for the process of review to be completed and for the patent to go from applied and filed to actually granted and assigned. Prior publication data comes below here. Any related US patent documents are issued, references cited to existing US patents, and if applicable, any foreign patents, and any additional literature, non-patent literature can also be cited as well. And then you get to the claims. Oh, and I'm sorry, I skipped over something here. Also within this prior publication data lump is the US class and CPC classes. So if you are interested in finding other patents on the same kind of topic, you could search for other patents that are assigned these classes. And of course, these don't really mean much out of context. You would have to actually go, I'm going back to my guide here. You would have to go to the index to the United States Patent Classification System to try to find out what US Class 1/1 actually refers to. Under that section is the claims. So the claims, what is claimed is, this is the legal justification for claiming exclusive rights to this IP. And it's pretty dense stuff. And further down in the document, you get the description. What exactly is it? How does it work? And this may also include technical diagrams and drawings if applicable. Now, you may have noticed something at this point. The individual records in this USPTO full text database are pretty hard to read. And if you've ever seen a printed patent document, what's on the screen here looks almost nothing like it. So going back to the patents info guide, here is that box labeled patent searching strategy. So you want to start your patent search by searching the USPTO database. That's where I was just looking for the sample patent. And then once you've identified it, note the patent number, and then use the patent numbers to find the full text patent documents in Google or in another recommended full text document source. So you can Google the patent number and get a nice full text copy in PDF form if it's a new enough patent of this particular document. So we'll use the this one as an example. The second one, we'll just go to Google. And I added in the term patent because I was getting some irrelevant results there. I thought it would just recognize it as a patent number. But here it is, data processing systems and methods. This is also assigned to RIT. Nice abstract for you there. And then you can also use Google to find similar patents. That's interesting. But most importantly, you can download the PDF and see right away, hey, there are technical drawings and diagrams included, and they're nicely presented here. And that's just not as easy to get at in the USPTO database. Well, why not just use Google as a starting point for your patent research? Well, Google takes some time to catch up to the USPTO, so it is not the definitive source in the same way. It's not accurate up to the current week, as is the USPTO full text database. And Google doesn't really offer the same field searching and advanced searching options, which makes your searches much more precise in the USPTO full text database. Now, again, we have recommended under the patent databases page of the info guide, a link here to the US patent full text database, but there are a few other sources that are out there that might be of interest to explore as well. So in conclusion, I want you to visit this patents info guide for more information or to contact a librarian for helpful advice and guidance. One more point to note here is that we are very fortunate in to have an official patent depository library in Rochester, though it is not at RIT. The Carlson Center for Intellectual Property is located at the Rochester Public Library in downtown Rochester. And they have a website here, and I will provide that as well on the Level Up Virtual Info Guide page. This is an official patent and trademark resource center, as you can see by the logo here. So named so by the US Patent Office. And even more patent and trademark and copyright resources can be found here than those available to you at RIT. But even here, they do have a statement about, no legal advice or patentability determination can be made. Again, we're librarians. We cannot give out legal advice or assist in filling out forms. So that's not exactly what any of the librarians, even at the official Patent and Trademark Resource Center and the Rochester Public Library. If you really want to get involved with researching patents and perhaps preparing someday to apply for your own patent, then you may take the next step to contact the Carlson Center at the Rochester Public Library. Thank you for your time and attention, and please do contact myself or one of the other librarians to get assistance with this kind of work.